Fear is the single biggest reason most people never chase their dreams. But here's the thing, fear isn't going away. I feel fear every day. The question is, do you let fear control your life? Or do you move forward anyway? Think about it. What's worse, failing at something you care about, or never trying at all? That's how most rocket launches begin. 3, 2, 1, full power, and liftoff. But I think that's also how life should begin each morning. If you don't have something that excites you, scares you a little, and makes you want to jump out of bed, then what's the point? Life can't just be about solving problems or paying bills. You need reasons to wake up in the morning that make you think something amazing might happen today. Now, before I share the key lessons, let me say this. Stay with me until the end, because these lessons aren't just about me. They're tools you can use right now to shape your own future. The last one might just change the way you look at your life. So if there's one thing I'd leave you with, it's this. Find something that excites you, accept fear, but don't let it decide your future. Do your chores. Take risks when you're young. Don't fall for wishful thinking. Fight to be less wrong every day. Surround yourself with honest critics. Think from first principles, and choose a future worth building. At the end of the day, we only get one shot at this tiny window of consciousness called life. So why not make it count? Hey, if you're into real down-to-earth money talks and mindset shifts that actually teach you something, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Point 1. Fear and risk. Now, people sometimes assume I don't feel fear. Oh, I do. I feel it very strongly. The difference is, I've learned that sometimes the mission is so important, so necessary, that you push forward despite the fear. If fear were my deciding factor, I'd never have started SpaceX, or Tesla, or any of the wild ideas that once looked impossible. Failure is always possible, but the real question is, do you believe enough in what you're doing that you're willing to fail anyway? And here's the thing, if you don't like what you're doing, you won't last. Life's too short to spend it on work you dread. If you're passionate, your mind will wander back to it, at the dinner table, in the shower, even when you're supposed to be relaxing. If you're not passionate, you won't have the endurance to survive the tough parts. Point 2. Mistakes and learning. Building something new is messy. Mistakes are guaranteed. The difference between a successful startup and one that fails is not whether mistakes happen, it's how quickly you admit them and fix them. If you sweep them under the rug eventually catches fire. At SpaceX, we had rockets that, well, let's just say they went through rapid unscheduled disassembly. Most people called them explosions. I called them tuition payments. And the faster we learned from them, the better we got. Let's be honest, success isn't glamorous. A lot of it is chores. It's more fun to cook a meal than clean the dishes, but if nobody cleans up, the kitchen becomes a biohazard. Businesses are the same. Ignore the boring stuff, and the exciting stuff collapses. So yes, dream big, but also do your chores. Point 3. When to take risks. People ask me, when's the right time to take risks? Answer, when you're young, before you have obligations. Once you've got a family, kids or a mortgage, risks don't just affect you anymore. They affect everyone you love. That makes bold moves harder. So if you're in your 20s and want to do something insane, this is the time. You will not regret it. One of the biggest traps in life is wishful thinking, believing something just because you want it to be true. I've been guilty of this too. The trick is to ask, how can I be less wrong tomorrow than I was today? That's why criticism is gold. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but if everyone around you is just cheering, you'll march straight off a cliff. Push your friends, mentors, and colleagues to be brutally honest. It's the only way forward. Point 4. First principles thinking. When solving problems, I rely on first principles thinking. It's like physics applied to life. Instead of saying this worked before, so it should work again, you strip it down to the fundamental truths and rebuild from there. That's how you innovate. That's how reusable rockets became possible, because sometimes there's no blueprint, you have to invent one. Why do I care so much about humanity's future? It goes back to an existential crisis I had as a teenager. I read too much Nietzsche at 14. Bad idea. It's like emotional jet fuel at that age. I asked, what's the meaning of life? Eventually I realized the better question is, what future is worth striving for? For me, it's a future where humanity expands the scope of consciousness, where we become a multi-planetary species, where technology excites and empowers people, where kids wake up inspired about tomorrow instead of terrified of it. That's the future I want to help build. So if there's one thing I'd leave you with, it's this. Find something that excites you. Accept fear, but don't let it decide your future. Do your chores. Take risks when you're young. Don't fall for wishful thinking. Fight to be less wrong every day. Surround yourself with honest critics. Think from first principles and choose a future worth building. Because at the end of the day, we only get one shot at this tiny window of consciousness called life. Why not make it count? If this video brought you value or stirred something in you, give it a like, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Videos like this take weeks of research, writing and care to create. Don't just watch and go away. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. I'd love to hear what stuck with you the most.